So Jesper, big game obviously coming up tomorrow and the second leg next week. We know when Miami come anywhere and when Messi goes anywhere, there's kind of like a media circus. There's going to be a big crowd. A lot of them's not going to be here to see the Whitecaps. How do you make sure that an occasion like that and the circus like that doesn't get to the players for this one?
Yeah, but I can't make that. I can't make sure that it doesn't get to the players. But I think we have to have a realistic approach. You cannot say that this is just an ordinary game, because it's not. It's semi-final in a very important competition, and also it's an opportunity to get to the final, which this club has never done before. So of course it's a big game, and that's really why it's a big game. And then you have an opposition where you have some special players, of course, not just. It's really big stars that have produced so many big experiences and moments in this sport. So of course it's also a little bit special. So we should also feel it's special, but at the same time believe in ourselves and why we're here, and trust that what we are good at is what has brought us here, and what is actually having to give us a chance to move on to the final.
Brian, kind of a similar one for you. This is obviously huge, the biggest Whitecaps game you've played in your time here. As a player that's going to be on the pitch then, can you just block out all the other stuff around the game and just focus on what you need to do quite easily?
Yeah, I think so. I think, once you step across those white lines, it's all about the game. You're not worried about who you're playing against. You're just trying to execute the game plan the best you can and get the result you need.
Jesper, a lot of people were unaware of whether the big stars were going to come to Vancouver until essentially this morning. For you in preparation of this match, how was it in terms of making a plan for the big stars and making a plan for without him, or was it just the same throughout?
Yeah, we have prepared both, of course, because we have to prepare for the opponents. But most of the preparation we have done has been how we believe we can make this game into our advantage, and how we can make it a game where we can hopefully win it, and we can take control of the game as well. So we are prepared, of course. If Messi is playing, then of course we have to be aware of what he's good at. He can affect the game in a certain way. We have to prepare for that, and also Suarez if he's playing. But on the other hand, we cannot do anything about it. So I would say that we have prepared some things, but not just. Mostly we are prepared for ourselves.
And then, Brian, a lot of focus is obviously on the attacking threat that Miami has, but from your point of view as a striker, an opposition striker, what is it about Miami's defense that you have been preparing for, and how are you hoping to unlock it in tomorrow's game?
From the stats we've seen, they have a pretty good defense. They haven't conceded a lot of goals in the league, obviously, but I think we have good attacking players that if we're cohesive, if we're fluid, if we can read each other's movements and everything, I think we can unlock them and good opportunities to create goals.
Jesper, a lot of coaches have game planned for Messi and his boys. Not all of them have worked out. How confident are you that when you produce a game plan that it goes off exactly how you envision?
Even when we win, it doesn't exactly go out as we envision, right? Because we'll never play a perfect game, and when you have a plan, you always try to make it look perfect. But, I'm very confident in the team. I'm very confident in the players. They've been doing fantastic since I came. And we're up against a good team, we know that, but we are a good team ourselves. So, yeah, we know, of course, when you're in a semi-final, nothing is easy. But we believe in ourselves, and the last couple of rounds we have played well at home, but not gotten the result that we might have hoped for. We thought that we could win at home, and then we had some extra business to do a week later, and we were able to do that. So I have confidence in the team and in the players, and then of course we're up against a good team. That's how it is in the semi-final, obviously.
And Brian, aside from scoring goals, two things you do well is hold up play and pressing. With those latter two aspects, how do you see that sort of fitting into tomorrow night's game?
Yeah, I just think those are things that I can do well that help the team in different ways. So I think, just doing what I can do to help the team. Obviously, like you said, holding the ball up, pressing, making the life difficult for center backs can hopefully help the team create chances, and hopefully we can get good opportunities.
Jesper, 3 results away from potentially being crowned the best team in this region. For much of what this game has been sort of showcased or been talked about, really it's what's at stake, isn't it? That's on the line here, and what significant opportunity this is for the club.
Yeah, that's what makes it big for me. Actually, it's this is a huge game because it's a semifinal for the Concacaf Cup, and I think whenever you are that close to being to the final, of course the stakes goes up every time. We are only here because we have done well, and because we deserve to be here, and that's the mentality we have to put in. Not think ahead, but make sure that tomorrow we will put in the effort and put in the quality on the pitch that we know that we have, and then hope that will be enough to get a good result to, in a week from now, be able to move on to the final, which would be, what everybody's hoping for. Every time you're in a competition, you hope ending up in the final and ending up winning it. So this is the last step before that, and we have to be able to execute well to give ourselves the chance to end up there in that final.
And Brian, the opportunity to play in front of a big crowd, and not just with what it's at stake, but the chance to, in front of an even bigger audience, maybe a lot of people here locally, they haven't had a chance to come out and see you guys firsthand. Big opportunity for you guys to really show what you are this season, and why the city really deserves to give you the level of support for the efforts that you made so far and what you're potentially going to do this season.
Yeah.
Yeah, would you say that when you look at punch you and your team that there's a real chance here to really go out, put in a performance?
Of course. It's no secret that a lot of people are going to come to the game to see who's coming. But for us, we want to put in a good performance. We want to show the team, people who don't maybe not come to all our games, what good quality we have on the field, what kind of team we are, and hopefully they continue to come to more games and cheer on the Whitecaps.
Hey Jesper, we know you guys love to hold on the ball. Miami also loves to hold on the ball. So I'm kind of curious, how important will it be to keep the ball, make them defend, almost use it as rest defense, and on the other side, your counter press. When they do want to get in those spells, how important is it to win it back quickly?
Of course, it's a battle in itself, right? Because we know that they have players that are very good with the ball, but if we can prevent them from having that much, then of course it will be an advantage for us. But football is always about balance, because you also want to attack when the pitch is open, and then you have the opportunity, and then you can't just be holding on to the ball. You have to go for it. So it's all the time it's about the balance. I think we have so far found ourselves having a good balance, where we have attacked a lot but without exposing ourselves too much defensively. And that's the balance you always seek when you play a game. We want to hold on to the ball. We also know that there will be spells where they will also be good on the ball, of course. So it will be interesting. It will be exciting. And but again, as I said, up until now, the players have done amazingly, and I really trust that we can handle both situations. If we have to defend well, we have to defend well. We've been able to do that, and when we have the ball, we have to hold on to it until the right moment to attack.
Brian, leading up just this run itself, you guys have gone through a lot of good moments of adversity in past years. You've developed maybe a lot of scar tissue from past Champions Cup, Leagues Cup, Tigresses, etc., etc. How, having experienced all that, how does the group feel in terms of just how prepared you are? Do you feel maybe a bit of a different energy versus past games where you maybe weren't as familiar with this stage or this moment?
Yeah, I think for sure. Obviously, getting through Pumas and Monterrey was big for us. And then, like you said, the years prior, we've been in these games where, especially in Leagues Cup, where we played well and then goes to PKs and we lose. So, you know, we just missed that final piece to kind of get over that hump. Maybe we weren't familiar with those kind of moments, but I think as the years have gone by and we've lived through those a number of times, and a number of the same players, the same group have been within the team for a few years now. We have that experience together, and we've just been able to grow from that together, and hopefully we can use all those experience and learn from them, like in this competition.
And Jesper, when you look at a player like Andres Cubas, he's won against Messi in the past with Paraguay. How much confidence do you have in him in tomorrow in your system?
I have a lot of confidence in Andres. I think that he is doing well. He's always hardworking. He's very good against the ball. He's a player that not many likes to play against, to be honest. And tomorrow, of course, he'll also be an important player for us in the way we're going to play. So Andres has been good for us so far this season, and also he's been growing his confidence with the ball as well. So I think he has been having a good development together with the team. And tomorrow he has another opportunity, right, to win against Messi. So we have to see.
And Brian, of course, I'm sure you've scouted Miami. They gave up 2.67 expected goals against Columbus. What sort of confidence do you have in terms of their potentially leaky defense?
Yeah, like I said before, obviously it's in terms of the stats, they haven't conceded a whole lot of goals. Maybe that's down to the execution of the team, but they have good defenders. They got a lot of numbers behind the ball, so it's going to be a challenge. But I think we have the players to play well together, know each other's movements, and hopefully we can execute in the final third and score some goals.
I will not give up my entire strategy on this meeting here and the teams. Listen, Lionel Messi for the past 20 years have been maybe the best player all time in this sport, and he deserves the praise he gets. And I myself has been a big fan. I've been a fan of football my entire life and enjoyed watching Messi at the biggest stages. And of course it's special. But I will also say tomorrow it's not going to be Vancouver Whitecaps against Lionel Messi. It's going to be Miami against Vancouver, and we'll take the challenge. We know that he is a special player, of course he is, and we'll have respect for that. But we will try to limit him, as you say, then we have to see.
And Brian, the underdog role is something you guys have relished in the past. I don't know if you guys.
It's all the kind of the media stuff who they talk about. They make these titles and names, but for us, we focus on what we can control on the training field, what we control on the game pitch. So we don't really read in too much about what the media says. What is it? The power rankings, this, that, or the other. But we just focus on what we can control, and we try to be the best we can be day in and day out.
Jesper, Luis Suarez, very, very talented striker, but also someone who can be a bit thorny to deal with as well. If you had to sort of take your center backs particularly aside to speak with them about what you're going to potentially facing with his style of play and sort of the gamesmanship he tends to bring to in games.
Yeah, I think Suarez has also proven. Now we're talking a lot about Messi, and he's also proven over the years how great a player he has been, and what he can do on a football pitch. We know about, that he also represents sometimes things that is not the most beautiful in football, but he is a great player, and he can do a lot of things. He's also a tricky player to play against because he knows a trick or two also when the ball is away, and I think our defenders are well prepared also for him. He's a good striker. He can drop down and play a little bit off the ball, and then he can also go deep, and a very, very good finisher. So we have to have an eye on him as well. So That's very important.
Just one more for Brian from me. You've been here for a while now, and you talk about power rankings. When you look at the Concacaf rankings, Whitecaps now in the top 10, the other 3 teams in the semis are the top 3 teams. Does that give you a big element of pride to know that you've got to this stage, you're battling with the top 3 teams in CONCACAF?
Yeah, for sure. Obviously, a few years ago, coming to the team, we weren't really looked at as a good team in general. You know, when I came in, we weren't winning many games. We were kind of at the bottom of the table, and then every year we've gotten better and better, and more eyes, more attention. So it's a bit of pride to see how far the club has come in the short time that I've been here, and hopefully we can continue to get better and better.